creepypasta nail tutorial. So I'm first going to go in with this milky white base coat, and then for Slenderman's nail I'm going in with this silver cat eye because I think it adds that kind of film static effect to the nail that I think matches the vibe of Slenderman and like the game and whatnot. So I'm going to add one base layer of that, and then whenever I go in with the magnet, I'm so sorry, I do it off camera, but I go around it in like a circle because I want to concentrate all of like the metallic static to the middle where Slenderman's going to be. And then I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds and then go in with this matte top coat. I like the one from Nails by Dad. When I go in with the powder, it's just old eyeshadow on an eyeshadow brush, but I'm doing it around the outside edges of the Slenderman nail because I really want to capture that dark kind of foggy forest. For Jeff, I'm going to go in and smoke out where I want his eye sockets to be. I'm just going to carefully buff it out because you don't want it to be too dark. I then carefully go in and map out where I want his mouth to be, but also at the end of the day, keep in mind that we're doing Jeff the Killer right now and it does not have to be perfect. You're just going to kind of smoke it out until you get the general shape of where you want his mouth to be. Once you're happy with how it looks, you're going to grab a black and white polish and then mix varying dark shades of gray for Slenderman's forest. I personally like to stick with just varying grays for the forest because I want the only black on the nail to be Slenderman. I want him to really stick out. I'm then going to take my black and go in and outline where I want Jeff's eyes to really be on the nail. Once I'm happy with that, I go in and I outline and map where I want his mouth to be. You want the edges to be fairly sharp. It is jagged. He did slice his smile open, so I would definitely make sure to focus on the points of his mouth. And then with Mr. Slenderman, I start painting his legs, and I start them higher up on the nail than I would for a normal human. You gotta keep in mind that you are painting Slenderman right now. He is a freak, he's a cryptid, he's some weird creepypasta, he is not a human. So you really want to make his proportions weird and lanky and just not what a normal person would look like. This is the same technique I used for the Little Nightmares tall man as well. You kind of want to map out a stick figure before you really start going in with the details. I'm then going to fill in the dark corners of Jeff's mouth just to kind of show you he's showing all of his teeth right now. His mouth is disproportionately widened. You really want to just block out his teeth area and not do individual teeth. I'm then going in and adding more layers to Slenderman's forest. I kind of just wanted varying grays back there so it looks like the forest is kind of just like never ending. I do go in and add some black to add some grass to the forest as well, just give it more dimension. I'm now going in with a red jelly polish to kind of outline Jeff's mouth because we know it's bloody. Honestly, don't worry about any mistakes you make. You kind of want it to be messy and jagged, so you can always gently go in and tap any areas you don't like lightly, just to kind of make it a blood spatter effect almost. As you can see, I'm doing it here with my gloves. If you do it with your gloves, please be sure that you are frequently switching out your gloves as to minimize chemical contact with your skin. Next, I'm going to go in and make a deep triangle on Slenderman just to kind of fit his suit in there. I'm making it much longer and wider than I would normally just because I know I can go back in and fix it and clean it up with black later. I'm also going in on his head to kind of just make his face more smooth and abnormal. You do want to make it more of an oval than a circle. I'm then adding some kind of random blobs for his fingers. It's so small that you can go in more and clean it up with black later. I'm then going to go back in with my white and block out where Jeff's teeth are, as well as where his eyeballs are in his sockets. Keep in mind I'm curing everything fully between each step. I'm then going to go in with the black and just darken up where Slenderman's suit is, make sure I can understand more clearly where it's at. As well as making his little tie. And then once I have his tie placed, I can kind of clean up the white better and figure out where his suit jacket ends. Also adding more black to clean up his fingers and fingertips. I'm also going to give Jeff his pupils. I'm trying to make them small and off-putting because, again, Jeff is a freak. We are not painting a cute person here right now. He has to look off-putting. And then we're going to go in and add Slenderman's tendrils. We are doing these in black. That is why I did not want to add any black to the forest, because I like the way that the contrast looks against his tendrils. I like Slenderman being the darkest point in this forest. I'm then just going to add finishing touches to Jeff on his teeth, and then I'm going to go in again with the matte top coat and then darken up the black points from earlier on as well. With Jeff, you can always go in afterwards with a white pigment just to kind of lighten up the inner areas. So make sure that you get some depth in there. You really want his features to be ghoulish against his white base. Here I am going in with white pigment just to kind of lighten up his skin again. And then I'm going to add a dark border so it looks like his face is just coming out of the shadows. I'm just going to go in and go over all the lines that I want to be very bold before I top coat. I'm going in with my Apres top coat, and then I am done.